This is the Terminator, and it's the most powerful bow in all of Skyblock. In order to craft it though, you'll need 600,000 flint, 900,000 obsidian, 1 million ender pearls, 5 million quartz, and 6 million lapis. Oh, and also an item called the Judgment Core, which has only a 1 in 2,000 chance to drop from one of the hardest bosses in the game. Sounds impossible, right? Well, today, I'm gonna get one. And the first step towards that is going to be working on getting a much better setup for Enderman bosses. Because in order to even have a chance at getting that crazy rare drop, I need to be able to easily take down tier 4 bosses, but up until this point, I've only ever managed to successfully kill a tier 2. So I guess to start out here, I'll go ahead and fight a tier 3, and we'll just see how that goes. And within literally 3 seconds of the boss spawning in, I was already dead. So, yeah, we've got some work to do. So to start out, I hopped into some dungeons to try and collect 8 of an item called Laser Eyes that would allow me to convert my sword into a version that should be much better for damaging those Enderman bosses. Like almost everything in Skyblock though, getting these Laser Eyes was gonna require some luck, because each time you do a dungeon run, there's only a 25% chance of spawning the giant that'll drop one. And apparently, luck was not on my side that day, because after an hour straight of grinding dungeons, I still had not dropped a single laser eye. Thankfully though, this horrible streak of luck eventually turned around, and I was able to get all 8 that I needed after about 3 hours total of grinding. Oh yes, oh wait, please, okay, drop, wait, please. Ended on such a high note, just drop this back to back, come on, we got it, let's go, yes, 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 yes. We have 8 laser eyes in total, so I can open up the crafting table, put my sword in there, and I can turn it back into a Hyperion. So boom, there we go. We have the Hyperion once again. Let's go, baby. All right, so that is totally good to go now, and that should increase the damage I do with this right click ability by quite a bit. But what it's not going to solve is the other problem I had of dying immediately to the boss. And the fix for that is not going to be quite as easy, because in order to get the materials to craft a full set of these specialty Enderman gear, I would need to kill roughly 70 tier 2 bosses, which was going to take some time. Thankfully though, while I was working on my last video, I got an insanely rare drop that should hopefully make these 70 tier 2 bosses go by a lot faster. So little damage. Oh, let's go! Oh my god, already! Oh my god. W me, let's go, baby. If you're not familiar with Skyblock, that item I just dropped is called the Scythe Blade, and it has only a 1 in 1,000 chance of dropping from the boss I killed. And this thing is going to be super useful because it can be used to craft the Reaper Scythe, which will allow me to summon mobs that will absolutely shred through the first phase of the Enderman boss. As you might imagine though, an item that powerful doesn't exactly have a cheap crafting recipe. So in addition to that Scythe Blade I dropped, I also need a whopping 250,000 diamonds and 1.2 million rotten flesh to craft it. Fortunately, I've known that this day was coming, and for the last couple months, I've had some zombie minions working non-stop on my island, and they've already managed to get me all the rotten flesh that I need. But I am still short on the diamonds by about 200,000, so we need to get to work on that. If I can get lucky though and find a Mines of Devon that no one has cleared out yet, I should be able to get all of those diamonds really fast. And perfect, here we go. This place is totally untouched. I just need to put on my good mining setup here. And let's do a check, okay? So we have 4,000 diamonds in the stack. I think I already got a lot from that. So just like 1 diamond vein here. How much does that get me? Oh my god, wait, that's like 1,500 diamonds just from mining those couple blocks there. Okay, so yeah, I thought I had remembered before that people had mentioned if you're going for diamonds, this is the strat. But yeah, usually finding lobbies like this is highly, highly competitive. So, I mean, you can see already in just like the 5 minutes I've been here, someone else has showed up and has cleared out a massive portion of this. After clearing out all the diamonds in just that one lobby though, I had already gotten over 800 enchanted diamonds, which is equivalent to about 130,000 regular diamonds. So I just had to find and clear out the mines in one more lobby, and then I was ready to craft the Reaper Scythe. But here we go now, the Reaper Scythe. Boom, there we go. It has been crafted, although it actually looks kind of ridiculous when I just hold it like this because it's literally just a diamond hoe. But we're on Skyblock, so this diamond hoe is an all-powerful item. Now that I had the scythe though, it was time to actually put it to use and grind through those 70 bosses. And while this process was pretty boring since tier 2 bosses can't drop any rare items, it was definitely a lot less painful now that I could summon some mobs to shred through the boss's hits phase in seconds. And about 4 hours later, I had managed to get all the materials I needed and could finally craft the final destination armor. And boom! There we go. A full set of Final Destination armor. Look at it. It's so beautiful. Someone else is on my island here just flexing it on me. And now that I had this new OP armor set, it was finally time to take on another tier 3 boss. Let's give this a try here. This one should spawn it. Boom. We throw these guys in. Okay, out of the hits phase. Okay, yeah. I once again died immediately. But the good news is that this time I had actually expected it, because I was still missing the two things that make this Final Destination armor actually good. With the first of these being a resource called Soul Flow that you can consume during combat for some insane stat bonuses, such as doubling your damage against Enderman. In order to start producing some of this Soul Flow though, I once again had to go and grind some tier 2 Endermen to gather the materials to craft an item called the Lesser Soul Flow Engine. So now what I should be able to do is just head over to one of my snow minions here, and I can just take off like the diamond spreading for now, and we should be able to slap that Lesser Soul Flow Engine right in there. And according to the wiki, this guy should now start generating 1 raw Soul Flow every 3 minutes. So I guess just to test to make sure that this thing is actually working, I'm just gonna AFK here for 3 minutes and check back in on him.
A few minutes later.
All right, perfect. There we go. 1 raw Soul Flow. But now I need to give this guy some time to work, because every 5 seconds of using this ability costs 2 of those. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go to sleep for the night, and I'll check back in on how much he has tomorrow. And when I finally check back in 40 hours later, which by the way, no, I did not sleep for that long. I just took an extra day off of playing the game. The minion had produced a little under 800 Soul Flow, which would be good for about 30 minutes of ability usage, which might not sound like a lot, but since I would only be using the ability for short bursts during the actual boss fight, it should last me a little while. And of course, the minion will also constantly be producing more every day. But now I could shift my attention over to the other part of making this armor set good, which is the number of kills it has on it. You see, each piece of Final Destination armor gives a defense bonus depending on how many Endermen you've killed while wearing it. So for the next 5 hours, I did nothing but non-stop kill Endermen to try and upgrade this bonus, eventually hitting 10,000 kills on the entire set, which gave each piece an extra 310 defense. So that almost triples my base defense of 700, so this should be making a pretty big impact. And there isn't even another upgrade in defense until I hit 25,000 kills, so hopefully 10,000 is going to be enough, or we're going to have a problem. And of course, with that now, it is time for me to attempt a tier 3 Enderman yet again. I'm honestly so nervous here. This is such a big moment, but here we go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on. All right, so there we go. We're through the hits phase. Now, I'm also going to be trying to keep my distance while I do the right-click maging. So, oh, I died. So not exactly what I was hoping was going to happen there, but I do think I got through just a little bit under half of the boss's HP, which is a massive improvement. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and review that footage really quickly and see if there's something I can do to improve, because I feel like we should be there at this point. And after attempting a couple more tier 3s, I realized I was able to survive the boss much better than before now, but I had a new issue, and that was that I kept running out of mana. Because in order to do enough damage to kill the boss, I need to be able to spam the right-click ability on my sword. But each use of that ability costs 150 mana, which starts to add up pretty quickly. So without fail, each time I'd get to about the halfway point of the boss, I would suddenly be totally out of mana. So if I ever want to beat this boss, I gotta figure out a way to get my mana higher. And the first solution that's the most obvious to me is I can put some sapphire gemstones on the Hyperion itself that will increase the amount of intelligence it gives me. The bad part is actually unlocking those slots is kind of insanely expensive. As you can see here though, I do still have a ton of sapphire gemstones left over from when I was grinding money for my golden dragon. As crazy as this might seem though, this 2.5 million in sapphire gemstones is actually going to barely be enough to get me one of the slots. Because once I convert all of these into flawless sapphire gemstones, which is the higher tier, I'm only going to have 5 of them left here. So we can go ahead and buy that, and then I can put the last flawless on there, which is going to add an extra 20 intelligence to the Hyperion. So definitely nothing crazy there, but hey, everything's going to add up for us right now. And now the thing that should be the biggest help for me is an ultimate enchant right here called Wisdom. Because at level 5 of this enchant, each piece of armor I have it on will give me an extra 100 mana. So if I can get 4 of these books and put it on my entire armor set, I'll be looking at a bonus 400 mana. But each Wisdom 5 requires 16 Wisdom 1 books, and right now I have 4 of them. Which means that I need to get my hands on 60 more of these things. And the only way to drop them is from the loot chest in dungeons, so I guess it's time to get to work. Luckily for me though, the Wisdom enchant isn't too rare with a drop chance of about 20%. So after only 5 hours of running dungeons, I had already gotten all 60 of them that I needed. Here we go, final one, Wisdom 5 on the boots. Boom. There we go, full Wisdom 5 on the thing, and the good thing is I still have over 100 XP levels left over, so I can get the full bonus. But with my mana problems now hopefully fixed, it was time for yet another tier 3 boss attempt. Oh my, okay, that spawned my boss? Not, okay, I'm trying with the mana flux this time. Let's see. Okay, I tried that time to make sure I'm like not wasting. Gotta make sure I stay in the range of this. Oh no, I'm gonna die to it, aren't I? Where's the beacon? Okay, it's out of hits phase. Wait, I might have this. I might have this. Oh, we got it, we got it, we got it! We got it! And at the time, I didn't even realize it, but I had also dropped something insanely rare. The sponsor of today's video. Honkai Impact 3rd is a free-to-play action RPG, and on February 16th, they're releasing the version Kiana update that will introduce a ton of new content to the game. First up, they're adding 2 brand new battle suits. The Hersher of Finality for Kiana will allow you to attack with a sword and pistols and utilize your airborne moves to either knock your enemies upwards or slam them down into the ground. The Hersher of Origin for Raiden Mei attacks with her wing blades to unleash deadly combos onto her enemies. This update also marks the conclusion of the first part of Honkai Impact 3rd story, where Kiana and her friends have reached the cocoon of finality, and will have to utilize their new battle suits in their epic showdown with Kevin. And one more thing, this version marks the 5th anniversary of the game, so to celebrate, Honkai Impact will be hosting local events in the USA, Germany, France, and the UK. Just check the link below the video for more info. So, if all of that sounds awesome to you, you can download the game right now using that link and redeem the gift code MKFINAL to get 30 crystals, 2,888 asterite, and a Hersher trial card completely for free. Massive thank you to Honkai Impact 3rd for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get back into it. So, I was finally capable of taking down a tier 3 boss, and all it took was a sword that I spent 2,000 hours grinding for, the best Enderman armor in the game, and a ton of other upgrades. And now I just needed to figure out how to take down the tier 4 boss, which does twice as much damage and has 4 times the health. So obviously, it's time to get some more upgrades. And the first one I'm going to go for is an enchant called Mana Steel that has about a 5% chance to drop from those tier 3 Enderman bosses that I can now finally kill. And look at that, of course, my first very rare drop I get from Enderman is a rune. Wow, this thing is actually more rare than I thought. Look at that, it only has a 1 in 40 drop chance. Which, to put into perspective, the Mana Steel books I'm going for have a 1 in 22 drop chance. So I should have been twice as likely to get one of these Mana Steel books as I would have been to get the rune, and of course, I get the rune. But that's just Hypixel Skyblock RNG for you, man. Apparently, though, I should have been more careful about bad-mouthing Hypixel Skyblock's RNG system, because the next boss, this happened. Are you kidding me? We just got the Ender Snake rune again, back to back. Wait, the odds of that should literally be like 1 in 1,000. You have got to be kidding me. All right, I take back what I said before. Now that is classic Hypixel Skyblock RNG for you. My God. After about 30 more minutes of grinding bosses, though, I got what I needed. Oh, we made it, we made it. Oh, did I go? Yes! Let's go! We finally got a Mana Steel book. Let's go! Alright, awesome. Now I can literally just hop into the anvil here and throw the Mana Steel book onto my Soul Whip. And now we'll see with this next tier 3 boss here if this Mana Steel enchant actually makes a significant difference. Of course, this is only level 1 of the enchant. There is also the 2nd and 3rd levels, which will obviously just be a lot better. But I'm hoping that I can already see a little bit of an improvement even at this first level. Alright, here we go. Let's see if this Mana Steel enchant here is actually going to make a difference. I'm going to go into first person when I'm using this during the hits phase now, because I'm pretty sure that if I don't actually hit the boss, then I'm not going to be getting any mana back, which kind of defeats the whole purpose. Alright, I just finished the boss fight there. It looks like I had about 400 mana left over, and I wasn't being super conservative with the amount of times I was using my hype ability. So definitely nothing crazy at only Mana Steel level 1 here, but I think I noticed a bit of a difference. And right now, I'm only getting 0.2% of my mana back on hit, whereas at Mana Steel level 3, I get 0.8% back per hit. So once I hit that max level, I think I'll really be able to notice the impact. That would have to wait though, because an opportunity to make quite possibly the most important upgrade to my setup had suddenly presented itself. You see, currently I was using an item called the Mana Flux Power Orb during these boss fights, which is super helpful for regaining mana fast because it provides a 50% boost to your mana regeneration. But there is an upgraded version of this item called the Overflux Power Orb, and that one provides a 100% boost. In order to get it though, I'd have to drop the Overflux Capacitor, which has just a 1 in 2500 chance of dropping from a tier 4 wolf boss. But Aatrox had just been elected as the mayor of Skyblock, and as one of his perks, he would increase the odds of getting drops like this by 20%, so this was the best chance I would ever have to get this thing. Even with that increase though, I still only had a 1 in 2000 chance to get it each time I killed a boss, and I could currently spawn and kill one boss about every 2 minutes or so, which meant that if I had just average luck, it would take about 60 to 70 hours to drop this thing. But a mere 5 hours of grinding later, something insane happened. Yes! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Oh my god, I was scared for a second. I wasn't recording. I literally just started doing these again 10 minutes ago. Oh my god, let's go. I honestly didn't think I was gonna get one. There's only 10 hours left until a new mayor goes into office, and it's literally 1:30 a.m. right now. I was just gonna do these for like 1 more hour tonight, see what happens. Oh my god, yes, let's go. Man, that is so clutch on the timing of dropping this thing. I mean, I was probably less than 30 minutes away from just being done for the night, and Aatrox is going to be gone in about 10 hours. And so by the time I woke up in the morning, Aatrox would have been gone as mayor, and I would have been left trying to get one of these without his perks. Now, I do also need a ton of enchanted gold here to actually craft like the upgraded Overflux Power Orb, but gold is so easy to get nowadays that really should not be a problem at all. And you know what? It's actually so easy that I might as well just go ahead and do it right now. And I actually already used this method earlier in the video when I went to get those diamonds, so you guys should already know the strat that I'm talking about. All right, wait, wow, this is a day 4 lobby and it's like not even touched. Literally 5 seconds in here and I already have 16 enchanted gold. But yeah, anyway, since it's so late at night and it's a weekday, there's only like 10,000 players on Skyblock right now, which is basically the lowest it ever gets. So hey, if there was ever a time that some of these gold lobbies might not be cleared out even after they've been around for a little bit, it might be right now. I also want to try and quickly figure out how much gold do I need for the Overflux. So it's half a stack per golden tooth, and I need 2 stacks of those. So I need 4,096 enchanted gold, which might sound like a lot, but it's basically nothing. Like, let me see how much I already have. Yeah, I'm already at 1,500 and I've been here for like less than 5 minutes. So as long as no one else shows up and starts competing with me for this gold, I should be able to hit that 4,000 number before I even leave this lobby. Although I do see some name tags over here. Do I have some competition now? Uh-oh. Nope, this guy is just kind of creepily watching me mine the gold. But hey, I guess I would prefer that over him competing with me for the gold, so we'll take it, I think. All right, let me check where I'm at really quickly. All right, I accidentally went like 400 over what I needed, but it's okay. I'm sure it'll be used for something in the future. Now, the next step, though, is to take this enchanted gold and combine it with a bunch of these wolf teeth that I have been stockpiling and turn them into golden teeth, which is going to take a little bit of time here, so let's just fast forward. Boom, there we go, 2 stacks, and yeah, I have a ton of wolf teeth still to spare, so definitely not a problem on that front. And now the only other thing I need is 24 enchanted redstone blocks, which I just am assuming I have in here. I guess I actually don't know for sure, let's see. Yes, okay, I do have 31 enchanted redstone blocks in here. This used to be one of the minion types I just like constantly had up, so I'm glad that I have that left over. But now we can head into the crafting table here, put my mana flux in the center, surround it with some enchanted redstone blocks, throw half a stack of golden teeth in each corner, and then this final piece, the Overflux capacitor at the top. And here we go. Boom, there it is, the Overflux power orb. Look at that beauty. That is awesome to finally have. Honestly, the mana flux I had before is kind of like a noob item. Like most players with these crazy items that I have now would just not have one of those anymore, but I still did for the longest time. But now I have finally joined the Overflux club, and it feels good. And of course, this is mainly an upgrade that I was going for in order to make tier 4s possible in the future for me. But in theory, it should help out with the tier 3s that I'm doing now as well. So let's give it a try. All right, here we go. First tier 3 with the new overflux. Let's see if this is going to be a totally new experience, or if it's gonna kind of feel like more of the same. And as always, the main thing I'm keeping an eye on here is just my mana, because that's like really all we ever struggle with. But wait, I actually think that helped out a ton. Oh my god, look at that. Wait, I literally ended that fight with over 1,000 mana, and I just also realized I wasn't even using my soul whip that has mana steal on it. This thing is actually going to be a lifesaver for us. Oh my god. And with this new and improved setup, I continued to grind out tier 3s until I had dropped enough mana steal books to craft the top level of the enchant, which gave me an idea. Now that I have the max level of mana steal and the overflux power orb, I'm kind of interested to see where I stand on attempting a tier 4. So I'm gonna start the quest here, and we'll see what happens. I have a feeling that this is probably not going to end well for me, but hey, you never know. I do actually want to go into like the specific Enderman Slayer area for this one though, because I think just like the general layout of this area with it being more open and stuff is a lot better for taking on the bosses. All right, and I believe me killing this one right here should spawn it in. Gonna be very, very interesting to see how this goes. So we're in the hits phase here, so I'll go ahead and get my summons down. I have a feeling this guy's about to do a ton of damage to me, so I'm a little bit worried. We'll go right for my spam. I mean, I'm alive so far, but look how hard it is to get it into that next hits phase. That is insane. Yeah, see, this is the phase I was talking about. Oh my god, did I just get like one shot by that thing? Obviously, it was time to make some more upgrades, but all the ones I had left were not going to be easy to get. With the first of these being the Ender Artifact, an item that just straight up reduces the damage you take from Enderman by 20%. But this item only has about an 8% chance to spawn in an hourly event called the Dark Auction. And on top of that, if it did spawn, as the name of the event suggests, it's an auction. So I would have to outbid any other player who wanted it. And my first 10 Dark Auctions didn't go so great, with the item not even spawning in once. But Dark Auction number 11, that one got pretty interesting. Get Vicious 5 for term? Do I want this? Do I want this? I'm bidding on it. Okay, everyone said yes. I just paid 57 mil for that. If that was a scam, I'm gonna be upset. I mean, Bazaar buys 60 mil, so it wasn't... Oh, there it is! Ender Artifact! We got it, we got it, we got it! Wait, please tell me I can bid on this. Oh my god, it's here! It's here! Come on. Oh my god, we've waited so long for this. Do I need the coins in my purse now? I can't get it! I can't get it! Oh my god, why did I buy this? And just in case anyone's not following what just happened, allow me a second to explain. So I only went into the Dark Auction with enough coins to purchase the Ender Artifact based on previous sales, plus a little bit of cushion. But because my chat had convinced me to spend over 50 million coins on that Vicious 5 book, I no longer had enough coins to afford the artifact. You're kidding me. Oh, wait, true. It's too late. Bomb, bid it. Bomb, can he bid it? Oh, no, it's done. It's done. Oh, wait. Oh, my God. I don't have enough. Oh, wait, I do. I got it. Oh, my God. Did we get it? Oh, we clutched. Oh, my God. We clutched. What a clutch. Oh my god. And just in case anyone's confused again, because all of that just happened super fast, what I just did there is, as the auction timer had literally seconds left, I went into my backpack and pulled out some enchanted diamond blocks I've had sitting in there forever. And I was able to sell a stack of those to the NPC for about 13 million coins, which was enough to allow me to get the highest bid on the artifact. And usually I'd be taking a huge L by doing that, because 13 million coins are way easier to get than a stack of enchanted diamond blocks. But since I already had a ton more coins in my bank that I just didn't bring to the auction, as soon as I left, I was able to buy those blocks back from the NPC like it never even happened. So that was all a huge relief, because who even knows when I would see another Ender Artifact in the auction, but unfortunately, this is the point where the upgrades start to get ridiculously complicated. Because nearly a year ago, the admins released the biggest content update to Skyblock ever with the release of the Crimson Isle. And with this update came an entirely new form of gear in the game called equipment pieces that provide various different stat boosts. And some of these stat boosts would literally be necessary for my quest to kill a tier 4 boss. But there was just one little problem. I basically hadn't even touched this update since it released, so I had a lot of work to do. And the first piece of equipment on my list was the Implosion Belt, an item that would literally boost the damage of my sword's ability by 25%. The process for getting this thing though was gonna be a little bit complicated, so bear with me. First, I farmed up a ton of red sand so that I could craft the snail pet. Then I took this snail pet into the crystal hollows and speed ran it to level 100. Next up, I made use of the snail pet's perk called slow moving that would provide me with a ton of extra mining fortune while I farmed up some mycelium. Then I used all of that mycelium to craft some upgrades for my minions that would cause them to start producing sulfur, the main ingredient for crafting the Implosion Belt. And after waiting a full week for them to produce all 100,000 of it that I needed, I would be good to go. In the meantime though, there was yet another pretty big problem that I needed to take care of. You see, the other part of equipment that would be crucial for my goal is something called attributes, which are randomized stat bonuses that each piece of equipment come with when you craft them. And the two attributes that I wanted were mana pool, which just straight up gives you more mana, and mana regeneration, which is pretty self-explanatory. In order to unlock mana regeneration though, I first had to defeat the tier 3 version of the final boss on Crimson Isle, which involved completing the entire main storyline, doing way too many daily quests, and of course, actually beating the boss. Oh, and during this whole process, I also spent roughly 30 hours mining gemstones to get back up to 1 billion coins so that my golden dragon pet I got in my last video on this profile wouldn't be totally useless. And after nearly a month of suffering through all of this, I finally felt that I had a setup that was capable of handling a tier 4 boss, so it was time to get my revenge. Okay, it spawned it. Holy. Okay, we made it to this phase. I still need a little bit more mana. Okay, we made it. I have like no mana right now though. It's still not enough. Uh-oh. Come on. Oh. After literal months of grinding for a setup entirely dedicated to beating these bosses, I was still failing. And at this point, I almost just wanted to give up because the list of things I could still improve was getting smaller and smaller. But I had come way too far to just throw in the towel now, so I kept practicing and getting better and better at the boss until finally, after way too many attempts, I got him! Let's go! I'd probably be way louder with my freak out, but it's currently 1:30 a.m. and I'm not really in the mode to scream right now. But I had finally managed to kill a tier 4 boss and could start grinding for that insanely rare Judgment Core drop, right? Well, not exactly. You see, the one thing I haven't mentioned about the Judgment Core yet is that in addition to only dropping from tier 4 bosses, you can also only drop it if you're Enderman Slayer level 7. And I was still 150 tier 4 bosses away from hitting that level. And at my current pace of about 15 bosses an hour, that meant I still had 10 hours of grinding in front of me before I even had a chance at getting that drop. But at this point in my journey, a little 10-hour grind was not about to shy me away from anything, so I got to work. And while you watch me slave away on these bosses, a friendly reminder that I am currently at war with the band called Train to become the most subscribed train on YouTube. So if you enjoy these videos and the hundreds of hours of work that go into them, I would really appreciate it if you could help me ratio them by hitting that subscribe button. Anyways though, 10 hours of Enderman Slayer later, I hit that milestone. Hey, and there we go. That is Enderman Slayer level 7 complete. And I would be sounding way more excited right now, but even after all of this grinding, this right here now is basically the beginning of the grind, so I have a long way to go. but I can go ahead and collect my rewards for hitting that, which unlocks a bunch of new recipes, including the recipe that I care about the most, which is the Terminator, of course, what we are trying to craft. And the other nice thing that I can go ahead and do now is head over to my RNG meter here and put this 82,000 Slayer XP I have stored up into the Judgment Core, which you can see here will lower the odds from being about a 1 in 1800 all the way down to about a 1 in 1500. But yeah, now the fun really begins, because any of these tier 4 Endermen I kill could be the one that drops the Judgment Core. I mean, this very next one I do could drop the item. It's possible. Of course, that was really just me being optimistic though, because in all reality, this grind was probably going to take nearly a month's worth of grinding, as on average, it takes a player about 100 hours worth of Enderman Slayer to get this drop. But only 11 bosses later, something pretty interesting happened. Oh my god! Oh my god! No way! I'm 11 bosses in! I'm 11 bosses in! Oh my god! Dude, you guys, that is like impossible. That is impossible. Oh my god. Oh my god. When I thought I saw that drop, I was like, it has to be something else. There's no way it's actually that. Somehow, I totally defied the odds and got stupidly lucky once again. Alright, well, now that I have dropped this core way faster than I initially had expected to, I guess it's time already to start working on all these other materials that I'm gonna need. Now, thankfully, I have literally been preparing to get a Terminator for probably like a year at this point, so some of this stuff I've already prepared in advance, but the 1 million Ender Pearls is one of the materials that I basically haven't even started on yet, and I have no idea how long it's gonna take me. And I also don't even know like what the most efficient way to grind Ender Pearls is. So I guess what I'll do to start is just test out some different methods of getting Ender Pearls and see which one of them is the fastest. After testing a bunch of different methods though, it turned out that the best place to farm pearls was just in the place that I had been doing my bosses the whole time. Before I got to work on grinding all of the pearls though, I decided to also change the minions on my island to Enderman minions to hopefully help take a little bit of the work off my shoulders. Unfortunately, the Ender Pearls did still end up being a very long and tedious grind, but about 10 hours later. Alright, and that is my 9th stack of these absolute Ender Pearls here, which is obviously 1 stack short of the 10 that I need for the 1 million total Ender Pearls. But that's actually where I'm going to stop manually grinding these things now, because I think since I have my entire island minions dedicated to getting me Ender Pearls right now, they're going to be able to produce enough over the next like 3 to 4 days to get me that last stack that I need. Of course though, this Terminator needs a lot of different materials besides just Ender Pearls, and there are still quite a few of them that I have left to do. But a lot of them are mining related, which it just so happens to be the perfect time to work on those. Because about a day ago, Mayor Jerry here went into office, and his main perk is to rotate through every single Skyblock mayor every 6 hours, which means that in a little under 8 hours here, there's going to be a mining fiesta event that will allow me to get double mining drops, which is obviously pretty nice when I have to mine millions of materials. And the main one that I want to work on, because I still need like 3 million of it, is quartz. Thankfully, in the Crimson Isle here, there is this crazy good spot for mining quartz where you can see with this maxed out mining setup, I am just mining absurd amounts of quartz. Like if I open up my mining sack here, you'll see it currently only has 100 out of the 20,000 nether quartz it can hold. But if I just mine a little bit of this quartz for like 20 to 30 seconds here, you'll see that now it's already up to over 6,000 quartz. And this isn't even the mining fiesta yet. When that event becomes active tomorrow, I'll be getting double what I just got. So yeah, me dedicating 700 hours of my life to mining in a previous video is paying off once again. And the next day, it was mining fiesta time. Alright, well, I was having a bit of a hard time waking up. This mining fiesta is pretty early in the morning, so I've missed the first 45 minutes of it already, so I gotta get to work. Okay, I actually assumed there was going to be like 0 competition for mining quartz, because why would anyone do this during a fiesta? There's so many better things to do, and there was already a person at the first one I went to. Hopefully this is not a common theme. There is someone here again. No shot. Okay, this lobby literally has 3 different people in it. It's getting to the point here where I may just have to take one over with 0 regard for anybody else. All right, yes, I finally got an empty lobby here. Let's go. I was actually concerned. I had this whole plan of doing the mining fiesta. It starts off not great by me waking up 45 minutes late for it. And then things just kept getting worse. I went through 10 lobbies and every single one was occupied by at least like 1 or 2 people. But we're good now. We got the lobby. Hopefully the next 4 hours of this fiesta goes very well for me and I accomplish a lot of material grinding. All right, I want to do a 15-minute test here to see how much quartz I'm getting to see if we're on pace to finish during the 4 hours of this mining fiesta. So starting out right now, I'm at 6,180 enchanted quartz in my mining sack. Let's go ahead and start my timer and let's get mining for the next 15 minutes. All right, there's my 15 minutes. Let's check the enchanted sack. I'm at 8,941, which each enchanted quartz is 160 regular quartz. So that was 441,000 regular quartz in literally just 15 minutes, which is actually ridiculous because at that pace, it is not going to take anywhere near 4 hours to get this grind done. It might not even take me 2 hours of this fiesta. And to my shock, that prediction was 100% true because literally an hour and a half later, I was done. That should be it for all of the enchanted quartz blocks I need. I know 17 is not enough, but I do have 20,160 enchanted quartz in my mining sack here that I just need to compact down. And then I, of course, also have this 49 enchanted quartz blocks from my minions I had down like literally probably a year and a half ago, if not more, when I was working on the other bow, the Juju that I have right here. The crazy part, though, is that literally took me less than 2 hours, so I still have over 2 hours left of this mining fiesta to capitalize on. So I don't even want to waste any time right now trying to compact all this enchanted quartz down into blocks because I have another material I'm going to start working on immediately. And that material is flint, which I need roughly 500,000 of. But since we're still in the mining fiesta, this should go twice as fast as usual. And the strategy for flint is much simpler because now I can just switch to my full set of Devon's armor and pull out this flint shovel that gives me a 100% chance of getting flint every time I mine gravel. And we just go crazy in this little spot right here. And just a single hour of mining gravel later. All right, and I am now officially done with flint as well. It took me 55 minutes in total. That is actually crazy. It took less than an hour. But that means there is still an hour and 17 minutes left of this mining fiesta, which is perfect because the final mining material that I'm a little bit short on is obsidian. So yeah, I have no idea what the mining rates for obsidian are, but I've heard it's pretty fast. I guess we can go ahead and do another one of our little tests, huh? So at the moment, I have 3,615 enchanted obsidian in my sack. Let's go ahead and mine for 5 minutes and see where I end up. And the results of this test were pretty interesting. All right, there we go. 5 minutes is up, and I have 4,192, which is actually already more than I needed to finish up this grind. So I guess the rates don't even matter. Literally less than 5 minutes to finish that. This has been a crazy mining fiesta for me. And for the rest of the fiesta, I just worked on getting that last little bit of lapis I needed that I hadn't already gotten from the minions I had up like a year and a half ago. All right, well, now that I've got all the mining materials done way faster than I thought I was going to, I guess I could just keep working on the other stuff as well. And one of the last things I need is 16 stacks of this item called Soul String. And that item can only be obtained from a certain boss here in the Spider's Den. And I have never even fought that boss a single time. So, yeah, first I gotta go through the whole process of figuring out how to even fight this thing, and then I can get to work on actually grinding it. And I would show you guys that part of my journey, but I am not even kidding when I say it was quite possibly the most painfully boring thing I have ever done in Skyblock, and that is saying a lot. But long story short, 3 hours later, I had all the soul string I needed. I'm done. Get me out of here. That was 2.5 hours. That literally took longer than all that enchanted quartz. I cannot believe this grind was so bad. And really quickly, since the thing I'm crafting with the soul string also requires a ton of an item called griffin feathers, and I'm sure all the Skyblock viewers are going to be wondering where the heck I got 10 stacks of those. Here's the clip of me from literally almost a year ago grinding all those griffin feathers. Yeah, I was not kidding when when I said I've been preparing to get this thing for a long time. With that material completed now, though, I was insanely close to finally finishing this Terminator. But one of the things I think I'm actually going to have to go back and grind for is the last of the Ender Pearls, because I finished everything else so much faster than I thought I was going to that there's no way my minions are going to have produced enough Ender Pearls here. So I think I'm still going to be like half a stack short on these. Okay, yeah, even more than that. I'm 40 absolute Ender Pearls short here, so that's going to be about another hour to hour and a half of grinding Ender Pearls in the end, which is so exciting because this is obviously my favorite thing to do ever. It's definitely not totally miserable and boring or anything. It had to be done though, so I spent the next hour grinding, and then... Hey, and there it is, the final stack of absolute Ender Pearls, and that brings me up to all 10 stacks that I need. And that should have been the final material that I needed to craft this Terminator, but unfortunately, there is one last thing that I'm missing. Which, if I open up the recipe for it one more time and go into these null blades, and then go into a part of the crafting recipe for these things, you'll see there's an item called the null atom that's at like the very base of the crafting recipe. And usually by the time you drop a judgment core, you would have like 100 of those things, which is way more than you need. You only need 27 in total. But since I dropped my judgment core so early, I only have 24 of them, so I am 3 short. Thankfully, they're a pretty common drop, so it shouldn't take me that long to grind for the last 3, but I do have to go ahead and do some more Enderman Slayer right now if I want to drop those last 3 that I need. And ironically, my RNG decided to take a turn for the worse at this moment, so it took a little bit longer than it probably should have, but about an hour and a half of Enderman Slayer later, there it is, the final null atom. Let's go. There we go. 27 null atoms. Terminator time. At long last, we have some people here on my friends list to celebrate. Glad to have them here. Dogman is flexing his core as well. And then there were a bunch of materials that I had to compact down and combine in order to get everything fully prepared for the final Terminator recipe. But then it was finally time to craft this thing. Let's go. Okay, I think that's it right there, right? That's all the materials. I just need to grab the Judgment Core, the insane RNG drop out of my backpack there. Oh my god. I cannot believe I'm crafting this right now. The Terminator. Dude, I honestly was not sure if this day would ever come on this profile. Are we ready for this? Holy, all this grind. 3,000 hours later on this profile. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Boom. There it is. I officially have a Terminator. Oh my god, it looks like a normal bow because I don't have any custom texture for it, but I swear this thing is crazy. Can I shoot it? Look at that. Look at those arrows. It's so epic. Non-Skyblock players right now are like, that thing is kind of lame, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I swear it's awesome. Of course, this thing would not be complete if I didn't totally max it out and get some of the best enchants in the game for it, so I spent roughly the next 15 hours or so running dungeons to do exactly that. And then it was finally complete, and it only took me 3,050 hours into the profile to do it. But now, to really put this brand new overpowered weapon to the test, I was not only going to attempt my first ever Master Mode dungeon, but I was going to also attempt it solo. Here we go, here we go. Now, I do need to be careful because these things actually are tough. What are the odds that it's instant die? Oh yeah, look at that. There we go. Term on the mini goes crazy. Oh my god. That went crazy. All right, here we go. How will our first ever Master Mode boss fight go? Based on the damage we just did to those things, I think we're gonna be okay. I'm thinking we shred him here. If not, I'll be surprised. I'm going for sub 15 seconds. Oh wait, I don't have my ice spray. My ice spray would have made this way easier. Nah, we're good, we're good, we're good. Where's he at? We're way good, we're way good. This is the harder phase of the fight, but I think we're good. Even with him doing that. Okay, the sub 15 second dream didn't come true, but that was free. Let's go! First Master Mode completion. Did it fully solo? Too easy for me with this term now, man. We just have the God tier setup. It is too easy for me. And now I just need to figure out what I want to waste the next 1,000 hours of my life on.